Okay, so if you first want to, I guess, just introduce yourself. Just like say your name and...
I'm Lori Nelson. I'm the grandmother of Gavin, the producer of this video.
Yeah. And when were you born and where did you grow up?
Oh, I was born in 1942 in Denver, but my family moved back to Nebraska, where they are from, when I was a baby. So that's where I grew up, in the smallest town you'd ever think of. You could never believe. Population 190.
Wow.
The school was right across the street from where we lived, and because it was such a tiny town, that maybe was a two-story building, where the elementary school was on the first level and the high school was upstairs.
Oh, okay.
So it was the whole thing, and so I spent all of my education in that one building.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So what time did you find out that you were pregnant?
Pregnant.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I could say that I conceived, I'll just call him John, my son John, whom I know now.
Right.
Let's see. I think in late June of 1959.
Okay.
So it was right before my senior year of high school.
Oh, okay.
And this is really weird. I hardly know where to start, but I'll just plunge in. So if that was in June, then by the 4th of July, I was starting to realize that I should be having a period, but I didn't think much about it because it wasn't too awfully late.
Yeah.
And then I knew I was pregnant,
Yeah.
But I hid it really well, and nobody else knew.
Yeah.
I don't think so, till my mother started thinking something was wrong. My mother takes me to the doctor, who says, "Could you be pregnant?" And so, of course, I could.
Yeah.
And the doctor
That's
said,
funny.
right from the get-go, said to us, "Well, I can help you find a home for the baby if you want to place the baby for adoption."
Right.
So, of course, I just wanted to get on with my life. I wanted to go to college. But anyway, so I went to school till maybe around Thanksgiving time, and then I just started staying home because I was showing. I don't know I read a lot. My dad came home every day, had lunch with me, took me out for drives to see deer along the river in the snow. My parents were absolutely wonderful for me.
Wow.
They were. They just couldn't have been any. They didn't question me. They didn't accuse me. They just lowered their shoulders and went on and supported me. And my mother, well, she was a teacher at that little school with the primary grades, I think.
Yeah.
And she, bless her heart, she took me on long walks every evening. Wasn't that? And she knew I needed exercise she knew to do that. And so then in March was the hospital where I went, and that's where Dr. Miller was. Gave birth to the baby, went home in a day or so. I don't know where to pick up the thread. Where's the baby?
Yeah, where's the baby at this point?
My mother saw him. I didn't.
Uh-huh.
It was... So I was 17. I thought it was a horrendous experience to give birth. I did. I said, "Mom, you said it didn't hurt that much." I know I said that to her. And I mean, she didn't want to scare
Right.
So I didn't. My mother did want to see him, and she did. We didn't talk about him really. She didn't want to. I suppose didn't want to. I don't know. We didn't talk about him.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that Dr. Miller took John probably to his house, because we didn't know this, but in another small town further away from Erickson than Ord, but maybe 20 miles there was a doctor who was, Niles Niles Moss, who I'm sure that this Dr. Moss and his wife, Janice and Niles, went to Dr. Miller's house and picked up the baby.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And they knew they were going to adopt my baby. I bet well, I don't know. And there's no way to know this.
Yeah.
Dr. Moss has died. Janice, his wife, John's mom. I think of Janice as John's mom.
Right.
Well, I think she was.
Yeah.
I had no desire to be his mom.
Yeah.
I know this sounds weird, but I didn't grieve a bit for giving up this child. I was probably really a selfish teenager. I mean, it didn't seem like anything slowed me down too much.
Yeah.
I mean, I started having the life I thought I would have,
Yeah.
and then there was this dreamboat that I met. That I was engaged to. I was just happy as a clam.
Yeah.
I guess.
So.
Well, I could tell you something else that might seem kind of funny, but it's true.
Okay.
John's father, I actually didn't date him a whole lot, didn't know him really well, which sounds kind of funny. Oh, I hope you don't feel embarrassed.
It's okay.
But things got going in his car one evening, and we actually started to have sex in the car. And all of a sudden, it was just over, and he just kind of withdrew, and he started putting himself back together. And actually, that was my only time with him, and my first time having sex. So, and in fact, I thought, well, is this what it is? And the next time he came, and I was with him, I think I asked him. We connected. And we were driving around, and I told him I was pretty sure I was pregnant.
Yeah.
And here's what he said: "Well, if you're pregnant, I'm not the father." I was dumbfounded again.
Yeah.
Didn't know, and I said, "Oh," and I just got out of the car and walked home. Well, for heaven's sakes!
I mean, he yeah.
And he was the total opposite of Lynn, obviously in every way.
Yeah.
And Lynn, who's tall, dark, and handsome, really.
Yeah.
And here he is. I mean, he's blonde, blue-eyed, and then, so, yeah. Okay. Gosh, did you think that would be such a long story?
No, that
was
great. Because, and I told my professor, and they're like, well, make sure to bring lots of questions, because you don't want, what if I ask you one question and you give me, 5-word answers,
Well, I'm pretty chatty, so there's not much choice, not much danger. Okay. You're so easy to talk to, Gavin. I don't even care who knows this at all. I just think all of the things that happened are just amazing to me.